Hey everybody, and welcome to Joe's Computer Museum for the second stream in as many days, I think, or something like that. Tonight I am joined by Ron, Garth, and Zodium.
Hello.
And it started out as just Ron because we're going to be hackadoodling a part to go on to go into Ron's Mac of some description that he wants this in. It will allow us to put SATA hard drives into a PCI PowerMac, which is kind of like what, how, huh? And then Gar said, well, if Ron doesn't show up in time, I'll jump in and say hi. I'm like, okay. And then Zodium was like, well, Zodium I just invited at the end because it's Zodium's process we're going to be using. So if it breaks, we get to point fingers at Zodium. So here we are, and I used to need to do a little bit of housekeeping and all the silly YouTube-y stuff. So again, thank you all for stopping by tonight. Remember, if you want to follow me and support me, you can follow me on Twitter. You can go to jcm-1.com and get really cool things like this LED bright, which would be really cool. You can also, for as little as $1 a month, at my Patreon at Joe's Computer Museum after the Patreon URL thingy-madoodle. You can get backstage content. You can be as part of the Discord and get to just talk to me randomly throughout the day and keep me from doing my day job, which is totally fine with me. So cool stuff can be had if you do that. In addition, I wanted to thank all of my patrons who are, including Justin Morgan, Stavros Karseritis, Michael Byrne, Bob, Rick Todd, Greg Rutke, Peter Tanya, and a whole bunch of other people. Thank you for stopping by. And finally, if you like the video, the stream, hit the like button, or subscribe, and do all that YouTube-y stuff so that YouTube will show my content to other people who watch content similar to the content you watch, which means our community gets bigger. Okay, enough hemming and hawing and doing stupid things. So, how are y'all tonight? Hanging out?
We're good.
Good. Nothing but
doing wonderful, Joe. Doing wonderful.
Great. Nothing but a whole bunch of middle-aged men screwing around with old computers.
Okay. I'm glad you said old computer.
Dude, you know.
Poor Zodium.
Required. So,
I'm not middle-aged yet. I'm getting there.
Oh, we'll see. We can't see your face, so we're just going to make stuff up, and people will just have to believe it. Right?
That scans.
I suppose so, yeah.
So, the basics of this process are thus. Zodium built on, I believe, some other basic information from a couple of other people on how to basically flash the SATA cards of certain silicon image SATA controllers, flash the ROM, in a way that allows it to have PowerMac BIOS or boot code instead of Intel boot code, which then allows the Mac to see that as a SATA card or as a SCSI card, basically. And so we're going to be following that process. And it's been distilled to the point where it's pretty straightforward. You go and download this file. You flash it to the chip. You have to have special tools to do it. Flash it to the chip. And then you yank the old chip off the card, put the flash chip on the new card, throw it in the Mac, and it magically works. It's just like, oh, you have another SCSI controller.
Magic.
Okay. And I think the biggest cool thing about this project isn't that, oh, okay, so we're hacking a Mac to do something crazy. We do that crap all the time. We're just weird. It's the fact that it so insanely increases the storage performance of the Mac that you never have to worry or think about storage performance on that Mac again. It's like it's way through, just beyond what you would even think of. So
yeah, if you don't follow Exodium out there on the Twitters, there is a lot of really great documentation and screenshots and stuff that he's put out there too. So
and lots of screaming and rage, like heading against the wall.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's also quite a bit of just like incoherent rage as various things didn't pan out and trying different stuff. So yeah. And also,
process.
And as Eric pointed out down in the doobly-doo, he also made a really nice thing about it on
Take it different. Yeah.
Different.
Mhm.
I think are we all running on like half steam tonight? Because I don't think you or I, Ron, can actually word.
This has been the worst week, and it's honestly because I'm just coming back off of Premiere stuff, and it has just been a lot of driving and a lot of travel, and then this is the week before the storm. I work in higher education, and so a lot of 9-month employees, people that haven't been around all summer, are now coming back and have a lot of things that they need to get done in the next week. So for IT people, it's our go time. So it's it'll be interesting to see everything come together.
I mean, I've been running at half steam the entire week because VCF West was last weekend.
Oh yeah. And then, of course, you've been dealing with your local internet provider and working and breaking and working and breaking and working, and a very predictable yet extremely annoying cycle.
And then I made the dumb assumption that this SE30 I'm working on was going to be was easy mode, and then nope. Even though it booted and worked at VCF, boom, it doesn't work here. And thankfully, Joe is awesome enough to say, "Hey, I'll take a look at it for you." And we could probably fix it. So I'm gonna say this: if you have a super chat you want to give Joe, give it to him. He deserves it.
Aw, thank you. I
was also gonna say while I have the mic here, pretty much. So Garth and I have also been working on the whole SATA thing as well, and we kind of had what I'm gonna call a very successful failure because he had 2 cards. One of them he gave me, but he gave me both the cards because both of them weren't working. And I did the process that I described in that thread, and neither of them worked in neither my 9600 nor my Beige G3. However, I put them in my MDD, and they worked perfectly fine there. So they worked great in a New World Mac.
We got 4 more for you, dude.
So my MDD only gets stronger, even though it doesn't really need it. And yeah, it was dumb. I don't get why they work on the MDD, but not on the 9600, but that's neither here nor there. So there is a real chance that may happen tonight with Joe. I'm hoping it will not.
Maybe.
But we'll see.
We will see. So the upside is I can show a quick demonstration before we get going on the actual solder fest here, because I have a 7300/200 here that has a SATA card in it using the process, and it works fine. So at least we can show folks what it looks like when it works, and then do the thing after the thing. I'm going to try to do this because I don't have my weird second camera at the moment because the tripod is off doing other non-streamy things. So I'll see if we can get this camera situated to show you how that works. But it's really straightforward. I mean, you put the card in the machine and turn it on, and it's a thing. So basically, you got the plastic shatter machine here, effectively.
Nice.
Which in my case, all of the internal plastics are shattered. So we can, as a matter of fact, something is falling across inside the middle of that. That's nice. So let's see here. I'm going to rearrange cameras slightly. Yeah. So basically, the card just, see, it's just falling apart. Card is in here into a socket. Got SATA cables here, and it just comes up here and it plugs into the drive. It's nothing complicated with it at all. And it shows up in the machine as a SCSI port, so it doesn't require drivers or anything special. Basically, if you're running an operating system that the machine can see, it'll work.
Yeah, it'll go all the way back to 7.6 as far as I know, too.
Oh, it goes to 7.6, okay.
Yeah, so the only thing I found was trying, in the MDD at least, trying to boot Tiger off of it for some reason. It didn't like the card, because I want to say it's because the card identified itself to the system as a SCSI device. And for some reason, Tiger's like, oh, that's old. We don't want to boot from that. Screw you.
Yeah, older OS 10 has issues with SCSI and stuff. Later ones. Tiger. Yeah.
So if you're planning on doing this and ex post factoing a machine, beware of that. I think you can go up to 10.3, and that's about the limit.
The keyboard and mouse.
My ultimate goal is probably to run 7.6 or 8. Probably. I'm not a big OS 9 fan. So I will probably be living in the past on this.
Well, you're in for a big surprise because this machine's running OS 9 on it.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, it's your machine, so I don't have to worry about it.
Puke cam.
I think the reason I say 7.6 is the lowest OS is because that's actually the lowest OS that will run on PCI PowerMac. I could be wrong though.
7.5, 7.5.3.
It might. I mean, it should work. I don't see why it wouldn't.
I think you can even run like 7.1.2 on 6100s, 8100s, because there was a little bit of a gap between Apple releasing 7.5 and the PowerPC upgrade card coming out, and the 7100s or 60, 61, 71, 8100s.
Aren't those all new bus though?
Yes, new bus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So kind of like I love those machines though, just because they're so not great.
I love my 7100. Actually had a 7100 on the free pile at VCF, but it was a little like that's kind of like an era of machines I don't really care too much about. I know probably controversial thing to say, but
I mean we're no longer friends, but sure.
My 7180 is actually pretty zippy, but my 6100s, they're just slow. I mean, it's cool because the stupid, other stuff you can do with them. But yeah,
can I tell you why? Can I tell you why they suck? Small amount of cache, and it has to use DRAM for VRAM. That's one of the big bottlenecks on this. Plus, basically, it was like, oh, here's a Quadra 610 motherboard that we just kind of tooled around a little bit on, and now it's a Power Macintosh.
Is that why those are one of the few PowerPC machines that needs recapping, basically?
No, I don't know. 6100 has all tantalums from memory. From memory. I'm sure Bruce is rolling over in his grave. I mean, died and then rolled over in his grave. I wonder if he has those moments, like where Bruce will just be there, minding his own business, waiting on a wine delivery, and all of a sudden someone will say something that's inaccurate about one of these machines, and it's like somebody walked over his grave or something like that.
Things are falling over on my desk. Network time error. Complain. Wah. Yeah. As you can see right here, I don't know if you can actually see that. It's a SCSI ID2 on bus 2 because this has got the two built-in.
I don't know, Joe. I think you're going to need to run some SCSI Director on that bad boy.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, let's see if I can get it loaded on this thing. Here's the problem: is the onboard SCSI on this machine is absolute freaking garbage. So let's hope I can get it loaded. So you keep entertaining the crowd as I get that loaded. Stand by.
I could swear. Okay, I'm looking at Drake's message in the chat. I could swear I saw someone saying the 6100s need to be recapped. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
No, maybe they do. So, I never recapped.
Yeah, I mean, from that period, honestly, even the 610s and the Centris and Quadra 6Ms, some of them are actually fine. Some of them are terrible, right? And I think later as you go on, right, it kind of depends. Like the 7100, 8100s and stuff. Not the power supply, of course, but yeah.
Case in point, your LC5 or LC475. God, I almost said 575. What the heck is wrong with me? But 475. It has an unrecapped power supply. Still working great. Nothing wrong with it.
You know, it's funny, actually, ever since you have the caps for it, though, right? But yeah, I'm going to actually redo all the ones I didn't recap because they were working. I'm going to redo them anyway because the reality is a lot of them were, just do it anyway. Trust me at this point.
Please wait while the machine barfs on the SCSI controller. Seriously, the controller in this thing is just absolutely destroyed. It has two SCSI buses plus an integrated network adapter, and they're all broken, like all of them. Like I had to install a third-party Realtek network adapter in this to get it to work.
Wow.
You should swap that chip. It seems like, yeah, that's funny how you do that, right?
I've got the
I
chip.
do have that board, by the way, if you want it, but
sometime.
I don't know if it works.
I went out to recapamac.com.au, which is Bruce's really nice website that has high resolution pictures, and indeed 6100 does have just like Drake and other folks were saying in the chat and in our chat, that it does have electrolytics, and he has it's pretty trivial replacement on these, just a handful. So
oh boy, here we go. Ready to have your socks blown off.
Flashbacks.
Let's see what happens. So we got that's the bad bus. The one bus that shows the second bus.
That's a slow, nice, compatible bus.
Which has got that on it, and then we've got this weird third bus. That's good, right?
Tech.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's click test and see how well it does in this machine. Oh, I don't care. Save it to the desktop. Just go away.
For what it's worth, I did this test on the blue and white, and holy crap. It was like, this is already fast, but imagine like a computer unrestricted by bus speed. Oh my word. These cards can put down some serious numbers.
Yeah.
Exodium, did you also do some stuff with mechanical drives, or did you just strictly stick with solid state?
You mean on the SATA bus?
Yeah.
Yes.
To which?
Basically, a mechanical drive, these cards are slow enough that even a mechanical drive will saturate the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing you really lose on with mechanical drives is like seek times and such.
Sure.
But SSDs are getting so cheap these days. It's like, why not SSD?
Oh yeah. I do like how you and I just single-handedly normalized saying mechanical hard drive instead of whatever weirdness other people have been saying.
Spinners.
Also, Joe,
looking at you, Steve. Looking at you.
You can click the mouse to bypass this bit right here. That's gonna take forever on.
Yeah, the butterfly does work, especially on a larger drive. I read it on a 512 gig SSD. It took about 40 minutes. It was hilarious. I'm like, what? It's lit right. Hey, Ron, where did you get that card though? Because you actually have a different card than our horrible, cards we got.
Oh, what I did is I looked at the pictures of Exodium's card, and I did a Google image search and found things that were similar, and I just found a vendor that had it, and it was like in the box with all the little eSATA adapters and all that type of stuff.
Look at it go!
And I sure can't remember how much it was, but it was maybe $10 or $12 or something like that.
Okay, that's awesome.
That looks like one of the ones StarTech rebranded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one I think says Adtronics or Adronics or something like that. But but StarTech.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what is the voltage regulator on that one? It should be some voltage regulator somewhere that's feeding the chip, because you don't want to be
that's an actual SIL 3112 under there.
It is. If you pull the sticker off.
Because
otherwise, this is a real short stream.
Well, the SIL 3512 cards look very similar.
That's fine, Ron. We can just take the chip off my card and put it back on my card to show people the process.
Yeah, that's fine too. I mean, fun is fun.
And then probably break the card while doing it, and make me even grumpier than I am. But that's fine. It's all good.
I have so many projects here. So many projects.
Look at those. Can you see the numbers?
21,000.
See the numbers? Can you see them?
Yes, 1.20.
Look at that.
We see it.
Look at that. That's freaking insane. When normally you get something like 800 from a SCSI device.
I think Garth had a quantum fireball that I had him benchmark for me while I was at his house one day, and it got, I think, at most like 6 megabytes a second really on the internal SCSI bus.
Yeah, it's just insane. So it's like you utterly and completely eliminate an entire bottleneck. Basically, this card pushes data at the PCI bus. Like it.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Fast as the CPU can move it.
Because on my Twitter, I actually posted results from the blue and white G3. It gets 70 megabytes a second.
Garsh.
70 read, I believe 30 write.
That's like, it's insane, man. It's crazy.
That's really great. And I think that for people that still want to use these old machines to do actual work, that's well worth the investment of tracking down one of these cards and, setting up your machine, wouldn't you say?
What I would like to eventually do is eventually get enough people buying up these cards, like offering, hey, we'll gladly build one for you for, something cheaper than the $70 that would cost to buy a pre-flash, because that's why I anticipate, or that's why I kind of theorize why people haven't really jumped for this, because it either has a relatively high barrier to entry skill-wise, or it's $70 from China, and at that point you might as well, if you want speed, you might as well just go buy a Zulu SCSI for that money.
Right.
Like, it's really hard to justify when the price is that damn high.
For us skilled in doing it as well, it's not that big of a deal. It's not.
Yeah, it isn't. So it's like, it would be awesome if like a bunch of people in the community like just bought up lots of these cards and just made a bunch of them and like just threw them out on the market, so prices come down, everybody benefits from it.
Yep. Stand by. I'm setting up my screen here to show you the program in the process.
I suppose also the barrier to entry to this is
Sorry.
Oh god, if that came through as I said buy, like, yeah, you have to buy a thing on the boob.
Ha-ha!
Damn it, Joe.
JCM-1.com.
No.
But no, part of the barrier to entry to this too is the fact that you have to own a EEPROM programmer, at least for this specific EEPROM. And usually, I would say you want to buy the TL866, but it's also like $40. So that has to get on there too. And I know there are cheaper ones, but I've heard they've had like, some of them have voltage issues, like they'll overdrive the chips and break them. I don't know. I just opted to go for the one that everybody likes. But I'm sure there's cheaper out there that are actually good.
That's how peer pressure works. That's how peer pressure works, Exodia. Hey, Joe, really, the most important question of all this tonight is, are you going to sign the work when you're done?
Sure.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You'll sign it with
Are those going to be available
eyes.
on somewhere? Are those going to be available somewhere?
What
is that board you have there?
Here? This is for the DOS compatibility card.
Yeah. Did Joe make one of those then?
No, this was made by Chapin, who he did like a short run of these a couple of years ago, and it's just been kind of sitting around. But it's got instructions on the back even. But I bought all the stuff, and he sent me a board, and I sent it to Joe because at the time I didn't have a really good solder setup, so Joe very kindly soldered it all together. Now the only thing is, I think that either Drake or maybe Eric Helgeson or somebody was going to do something similar to this, because this is just a copy of the Reply little extender for the Quadra 700. Because this one does not have a ground plane. Like, it's all exposed.
I was going to ask you how.
Yeah, so you do get some interference if you don't have a properly shielded machine. And I think I've ripped all the EM shielding out of my Quadra 700.
I was actually curious about that, because I've just been running a cable into my my Sentra 610 with that card, right?
Oh, Drake says, Ron, I sent your board to Eric. He hasn't mailed it yet, which is okay. It's not pressing, because I think Joe soldered that for me 6 months ago, and I still haven't installed it.
I actually have to dip out for a minute, but I will be back in a few. So don't break anything while I'm out, please.
No promises.
Don't go breaking
all right, I'll be back in a bit.
And I've got to install all this beautiful RAM that I got from Silicon Insider. I still haven't done that. I haven't done anything this summer and first part of the year. Just totally occupied every waking moment. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this this Drake RAM from the Satanic Mac Club. I gotta fix this. I'm gonna do everything. It's that was a fun stream. And there's so many other things I got to do.
Is this a PLCC or a TSOT? I think it's a PLCC.
It's a PLCC.
Yeah, it's a PLC. That one.
Joe, I got a couple extra sockets here just in case. I'll send them through to you. I mean, I know it's not exactly what you need, but just there you go. They should be at your house now.
What's this that just showed up? Like what? Thanks, Ron.
Hey, I do what I can.
So we put this little adapter doodle into the programmer, and we go device.
Program a jig, sure.
And it tells you how to orient it in the programmer thingy. So I need to put that in here. And it's in there correctly in the correct orientation. Yes. And we hit program. And it goes zoom.
Oh, so it just liked my chip? That's nice.
Yeah,
I ordered
far.
the correct thing.
It's a good sign, at least found the pins.
Yeah.
It likes your chip, and I picked the right one from the list of like 180,000 this programmer support. So,
Right.
you know.
It's okay. Just program it like a 555. It's okay.
Program it like a 555.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, in that you can.
Oh, okay. So that's done. That's all there is to that.
Sweet. Now the fun
And
begins.
then we, I'm going to take you back to the bench top here, so you can see what we do. So we take this thing and we get an extractor tool to get it out of the socket, which is always a trick.
I was fully expecting Joe to just pull out a butter knife.
Actually, use this sucker.
Oh yeah.
There we go. And then we have to check the pins because these stupid extractors suck. And they always muss up the pins. So we're going to check the pins real quick by going to here.
You know, many years ago, there was a device, like one of those internet appliances. It was called the Eye Opener. It was like an all-in-one little doodad. And people would send me their eye openers all the time to get the little BIOS reprogrammed. And most of the time, people that try to do it themselves, they would put it in a programmer and then never check the pins afterwards. So like 99% of the ones I got were they just needed a touch up on the straighten in the pins. And I was like, oh yeah, just check this first. No, I looked, everything looks fine. And I was like, you're going to need to maybe not just use your naked eyes. I mean, actually,
get grandma's, 1.5x clip-on glasses.
Yeah,
1.5. Lucky you.
Cheaters. Yeah. I'm too vain to wear the cheaters.
Cool.
I got mine.
So now we take the chip off this one. And I'll show you that. And so it's very important here on this chip. There's your chip. There it is, whatever. But note specifically right here, the note of the pin location for pin 1, because you need to make sure that you get that in the right spot when you do the
Right.
So
He said loudly.
Right. So then you just put a whole bunch of flux on here because it helps it come off the board better. I also have, you might be able to see it underneath here. I have a piece of an old piece of furniture here that I use as basically a big insulating block for when I do this, so it doesn't melt my nice anti-static surface that I do work on.
Well, I'll tell you, Ethan Allen appreciates it.
So we just hit it with hot air until it comes off.
This is like my summer. It just hit it with hot air until it comes off. Joe, I love your scope.
Yeah, I do too.
That's what I need, and better
What's
eyes.
that? My scope?
Yes.
Yeah, it was an expensive investment, but thanks to all of the wonderful people on my Patreon list, the people who get things from my website, I was able to afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Without them, I wouldn't have been able to. Plain and simple.
I'm glad it's. I think that it's important to be humble about this stuff because a lot of us, like, I wouldn't be anywhere in this hobby if it wasn't for kind people. Like, tried forever to get Quadra 605 or LC 475, and Garth was just like, just came charging in.
I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, no, it works amazing. I took it to Kansas Fest and actually made a pretty nice breakthrough on a project I've been trying to do for a while now. So it was really cool. Yeah, it was. I finally now have the ability to just put for like the Apple IIe option card, which I talk about all the time. I'm sure people are so bored of hearing about that damn card.
Yeah, I love that card. Yeah,
I love that card though.
I want to be able to access it a little better though with an interface, which I already know you're go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say because I know that. Well, I don't have one laying out here. It's in a box, but I know that several people are now working on nice replacements for the cable and all that too. If nothing else, I'm just thinking, Lord, how much desk? I mean, I understand that like there was a time when everybody had a CRT monitor and you needed the space behind the machine for all the cables, but nowadays it's really nice to have just like a nice svelte little connection back there that just gets you whatever that you need.
Cool. It looks like that's in place. So now we just tack a corner to make sure it stays where it is. Tack another corner, and then we drag solder the whole thing.
Sweet.
So Joe does drag soldering.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's how he lost his license in high school.
Soldering license. No, actually, the one I did, I just did like normal hot air flow. So actually, I don't want to see you do this because maybe I should do this. Could be a little better.
Just getting some solder on the soldering iron. Stand by.
Oh yeah, yeah. PLCC sockets for something like this would be handy, but
there we go.
Yeah, actually, Eric was talking about that. Like the cheap ones he bought, it just managed to like melt the socket. He was trying to put it on because I think he was doing hot air and stuff, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say I bought some like amp branded sockets, and they can withstand some heat for adding like a FPU to like a original LC.
Yeah, I found the couple of times I've tried to put those sockets on a board, I found it more trouble than it was worth for my skill set at the time. At some point in the future, I'll probably try it again. But as of right now, this is actually easier to execute.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will say, watching you do it with the actual microscope view and stuff, it's definitely doable, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't do this without a microscope. Yeah.
Awesome. This tool is a game changer. Like Bruce was saying on his stream when we were fixing Javier's board, I started fixing Javier's board before I had the scope, and I never would have gotten anywhere properly with it without a scope. Like I was set to fail from the beginning.
Yeah.
Joe, was Javier's board sent to you before or after? Because I remember we kind of got to be better friends after like that whole SE30 thing, because you were looking for an SE30 for yourself, and I was like, I got a board, but it needs some help, you know, kind of thing.
That is a really good question. I don't remember.
All right. Well, I'm glad somebody does.
That's just me, Ron. I don't
remember either. I could look back because people were so mad that like I threw a fake box, and it was people were so mad about the box, and I was like, I guess but it was somebody shipped it to me, and it was not in good shape. So really, I mean,
as you can see, I'm doing. Ooh, look what I
just saw that. Yeah, I just saw that. Hold on. Yeah.
You see that? Don't let me forget.
Was that from you? That looks like from something else. That doesn't look like from you.
I don't know. It's just been knocked off. I mean, I may have knocked it off there, but I don't know.
The card, it might have something because I threw the eSATA connectors in there because I didn't know if Joe might have a use for those or something like that. If he wanted.
Well, hey, the cheap card that I got, one of the cheap cards I got from AliExpress, literally one of the through-hole capacitors was basically one of the legs was just broken on it, or it just wasn't even connecting. So I'd got it to the pad and it was a mess. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So those ones are not well made, but they're cheap. So I'm curious. As I was saying, curious. One of the other issues for doing this, of course, is finding a reliable source of decent quality cards. And I'm very curious about this one.
Yeah, I am too. I didn't test it in a PC or anything. I just purchased it and was like, I wish I could remember where I found it.
If this destroys my machine, you're going to send me your prototype.
Honestly,
128, right?
My concern is whether or not it has the right voltage regulator for the chip, right? For the ROM chip.
Well,
so if it's a 5-volt one, supposedly it burns the chip up, depending on what chip you have.
Boom.
Well, if it catches on fire, I mean, we'll know in pretty quick order.
As long as it doesn't kill my machine, I'm cool with that.
Kill it any worse.
Yeah, I know it's not really in good shape at the moment. I just got a Max Power G4 card for it, and man, that changed that thing's world. But
yeah.
So let's look. Voltage regulators. We have whatever those are. Somebody want to look those up?
I can.
So it depends if it's whatever one's actually feeding power. It might be on the back side of the board too, possibly, but I kind of doubt it.
Back side of the board is empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
As soon as my vertigo lifts, I'll be able to.
There.
APL 117. Someone in the chat probably has got it.
PH5 Baker. Hotel 18.
Okay, the minimum input voltage is 1.4 volts. Or I'm sorry, the minimum or the input max is 18 volts. So we're doing great.
It's available in different outputs, anything from 1.8 to 5 volts.
Yeah, and this chip is a positive adjustable regulator fixed at 1.8, 2.5, 2.8, 3.3, and 5. So other than the very lowest end, it's entirely within the range of the ROM chip.
Okay.
So, yeah. And there's Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy. You just said what I just spoke. Awesome. So, let's go ahead and I'm going to do a very basic cleanup on this. I just don't like it's sticky gunk all over the place.
I'm with you.
I'll ultrasonic before sending it back to you there, Ron. But
thanks. You know what? You just throw them in the dishwasher, pots and pans cycle, and just watch YouTube like melt down. All the videos like that I've seen people do that, and I'm just like, like the whole thing. I mean, there's minerals and stuff in your water. Like, why would you don't do that?
Think of the engagement.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, no, it's true. That's the wrong type of engagement though, because I don't want drive-by furious people. I get enough of that in my real life. I want like people that are like, hey, I want to hang around and
want to preserve or not destroy.
Yeah.
Cool beans. So let's go ahead and switch back to this camera. Sure, why not? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I can only imagine what Joe's OBS looks like. It's just like every entry is like screaming and like 3 exclamation points where it's like face, and it's like you click
there.
That.
Now you can see it.
Wow, that's awesome. Hey, did you know that you can add filters to your cameras and stuff in OBS?
Yeah. Yep.
I guess somehow added and it's been active for who knows how long, a blue screen or a green screen filter, because occasionally if you see this little box kind of back there that I'm pointing at, occasionally it will it's been chromed out. it would just like chroma it out of the video, and I'm like there would be like a little like one of those soot demons from like Spirited Away, just back there, just freaking out, and I never really understood. And then I was looking today, and I was like, oh yeah, look at that, crazy.
Okay. So
Oh, thank God Joe's wearing pants.
Which involves much yanking of other cards and breaking of more plastic.
It's okay.
I would love to see your card that you have in there that's actually working.
Yeah,
show us.
I'll show you right now.
Show us your card,
Please.
Joe. wet your lips. Show us your card.
Sensual.
Precious card.
That's the card I have. Can even go. We can even go big screen. Big screen.
Zoom and enhance, Joe. Zoom and enhance.
You got a good card. I think we got a batch of funny ones.
I saw that exact card on the eBays.
Yep.
This is one we've been getting off AliExpress.
$6.88 from the Ali site. Oh, we don't want that in there. I want to put the other one in. So we put your card in here, and I need the. This one is the hard drive connect-a-doodle. Okay.
Connect-a-doodle.
Yes. So the trick here, as is with every one of these Macs, is it's hard for you to see here. You can't really see what I'm doing, but does this little stupid metal shroud clear any screws on the bracket? And the answer is always no. Bend it.
Mm-hmm. When a bracket comes along, you must bend it.
Yeah, bend that out of the way. Problem solved. Cool. So that goes there.
When Garthco gets his bird, he must bend it.
This is only for Rich Dinky.
So the SATA connector is connected, and in theory, it should just boot right up. It should just work. It's the same firmware and everything. And if it doesn't work, I blame Zodium because Zodium is not here.
Yeah, he's not here to defend himself, so he seems like the perfect target.
Years and years ago at the shop, there's a guy who was on vacation, and we literally put a picture of him with the doopiest face on the repair bench for any customers that came in and said, if you have any problems with your repair, blame this guy. He's not here. So just change this angle so you can see what it's doing.
I mostly let's go ahead and cut directly to smoke cam.
To smoke cam?
Smoke cam.
I think this is gonna be one of those cams where it just doesn't work, or if it's not gonna work,
I can do this. Display capture source. Not display capture. I need video capture.
I need gopher chucks.
Video capture. Add existing bench. Face cam. Where is it? Whoa! I added my own camera back to it like a freaking moron. Stand by. Please wait while I fumble with things.
Mm-hmm.
Like a doof canoe.
I like that one too. Doof canoe. Nice.
I think we want this one.
Ah, yes.
Yes. So we can do this. Smoke cam.
Nice.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah. If only there were 9 more cameras.
Dude.
Hold on. I'm gonna.
Don't even. Don't encourage him.
Joe, make sure you don't actually plug your drive into this thing just for the smoke test. Okay?
Done.
All right, good. Thank you.
Just unplugs power. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't want
No. I didn't give it
8 hours of work getting OS 922 installed on this thing that was never designed to run the OS.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Ready?
Hey, while we're talking about this, what's a good utility for doing backup restore for all of these SATA and IDE solutions? I mean, how do you even format the drive? There's
Good question.
From what we've seen, just using the normal tools work just fine.
Okay.
Like the normal disk utility and stuff. Again, this is really meant more for like,
Well, it
oh,
crashed.
that's a bad sign.
It didn't work.
That's a bad sign.
Hmm.
Ooh, but it booted. Oh, that's interesting. Sure.
It did some sort of crash-a-doodle.
Yeah.
I did that. I want to see
You
what
might may not have to actually zap PRAM if you have a PRAM battery.
maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll just see what happens. There's
I
no
think that was
smoke coming
false
out of it.
crash.
That's good. Is it hot? Is the chip getting hot, Joe?
Hold on,
Joe,
let me look.
is it hot chip? Is this the future liberals want?
Hot chip.
Eat hot.
Chip.
Wake up late. Eat hot chip.
Nope, chip's fine.
Spicy chip.
That's good.
Then
Or is it
again, I
spicy
didn't
chip?
check the
Oh,
device.
okay. Sorry.
What is it booting to? Oh, it's booting to the external SCSI.
Yeah, I was gonna say
card.
you got a blue
Good
SCSI on the
sign.
back.
That-
No, that's
solid,
bad sign.
stable SCSI bus on your computer, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I tried and then failed because that card doesn't have an OS on it.
Can we stop and talk for a second about how even as crappy as the 6200 is, the crash sound is like the best one that Apple ever made? Because it's a lot of the other ones, it's the old ones is like Twilight Zone, and the others are just like a car like crashing, but
I
it's
like
like
dun, 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 dun.
yeah, it's like bah, bah, bah. I love it. It's yeah. It's got like a drum fill and everything. They
For
must
some
have been
reason,
like,
I've heard that one a lot. And I'm not sure what system it's on. Gives you an idea
Yeah.
which system I've worked with a lot.
mhm. I think it's like 5200, 6200, kind
It
of
might be
like
the PowerMac card too.
G3, early G3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now I'm just checking for solder bridges to make sure I did it correctly.
Oh man, look at all those solder balls,
It looks perfect, actually.
just wired, like
Amazingly perfect.
just totally, just everything is just
Oh,
right to
that's good.
ground. Everything.
Straight to ground.
Maybe just hook up the optical drive and just try to boot off CD that we don't muck up your hard drive
Yeah, we can do that.
with no, because obviously your SCSI bus is compromised.
And I have
Joe, also peel that sticker off the chip and make sure that I did not accidentally.
okay.
But
You-
when you do it slow, and you got to play sexy music. It's be like, oh yeah.
This looks like a phone number. It's like watching an episode of Breaking Bad. Call that phone number.
Yeah. Joey, don't change your number 6052429544654.
Word.
Oh man, the suspense is killing me. I hope it lasts.
I'm doing it on purpose. I am doing it.
Don't let us see it at the very end.
Are you sure you want me to like fully remove your quality control sticker?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, the quality has been controlled as much as it can be.
3112.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say I was fairly certain that
Put away my card.
that I was not completely off on this.
So
Okay. That's good.
I'm going to show you a little trick. We're going to see if it works live on camera or not. Stand by. We got to find it first. It's up here somewhere. Ah, found it.
Joe's
We're
gonna dump
going-
lighter fluid directly on my card.
As long as I don't light it on fire, it's fine.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, light my. Worked for the Doors.
It did.
Didn't work so well for what's that guy on the show?
That guy on the show.
Boom, done. Another idea.
Wow.
Man, don't that look pretty?
Do you know what that is?
Acetone?
What?
Acetone?
No.
Because I was
mean,
gonna
that
say
would work too.
because if it was at this point it should say like silicone.
Eucalyptus oil. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
Oh gosh.
And after you use it for at least a couple of hours, your shop smells fabulous.
I was gonna say, but
I
just
love
think
it.
of all the drop bears you're
I'm putting that on my list
attracting.
of things to buy now, honestly. If it works that well and smells that well, because I'm getting sick
Dude,
of this smelling ISO.
It's like a freaking Hall's cough drop factory up in here. I am like on cloud 9 now.
It's amazing.
Let's try it
Vapor
again.
action.
I tripped on my chair. I got some residue from the blue tack I used on the pins as well. I'm gonna clean that off. That might have been part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind too that again, this machine is hot garbage, so it may have just like crashed just to crash.
Well, it's trying to burn off the external SCSI, right?
Well,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of, yeah. So it wasn't like too crazy crashed. And you said something about doing something with the there's no PRAM battery in this anyway, which kind of surprises me that it even boots. But whatever. I need a disk to boot from. Stand by.
I like when Joe says "stand by." It makes me think about Paul Harvey.
I'm Paul Harvey. This is the rest of the story.
I think about it, it's like every show started with like "stand by for news." It was just this thing. But I bought 3 Bose Wave radios, so I feel like he did his job. Now, I bought mine at yard sales.
Yes.
But
That's the most Midwest thing ever, right?
what is Paul Harvey?
And Bose radios.
Yeah, the Bose Wave radio. Although I used to work retail for many years, at this chain that no longer exists.
Wow.
Yeah, I even have a 1 key. I can override stuff on the register still.
Awesome.
But the
Still.
that was one of our high ticket items you could sell and make a bunch of money. It's like Bose equipment and stuff, but like those Acoustiman systems really sounded great. I mean, it was all faked to make it sound great.
No.
CD-ROM drive's blinking, and it ejected the disk. It didn't but it ejected the disk. You know what that means?
Yep.
It's talking to the drive.
Yeah. Hey, Exodium has returned.
Hi, Exodium.
With news from Fair Verona.
Oh boy, what is that? What has happened?
You haven't turned on Start Virtual Camera in OBS. That is what has happened.
There we go. That fixes it.
How do I make this boot CD-ROM drive? You hold down C, it turns on, right?
Hold down C.
That's what I thought.
Hang on. So,
Yeah,
guess I
that one
should
you
put some
can't
in.
actually.
So it's really picky. I've found with CD-ROMs. Like normally it'll be okay. Like my 9.1 disc worked perfectly fine, but others it'll just refuse to boot from for whatever reason.
Now, this is the 8.6 disc that I booted it from previously. Now, keep in mind, I booted it from, and it mlemmed the disk. It's like, bleh.
So there's, I'd say, 2 options here, and one's potentially less destructive, but takes more time. Is the first one is take the card out, put your known good working card in, make sure your current setup will boot off the optical drive the way it is. And if that works, great. Then, or the second setup is just go YOLO it and put your golden drive on the bus and see if it boots right off that.
I honestly, I'm okay with doing that.
Did it see the drive though, like the SSD?
I advised him not to plug that
yet.
in because I didn't want it to nuke anything.
Yeah.
I trust Joe. Joe is a technical genius, but
stop.
it only takes like one like goofy untested card to like nuke hours of hard work building an OS.
Yeah.
Drive.
So this is true. It is 922 with a whole bunch of special drivers on it to make it work with this card here. So
I have actually something to kind of work on in parallel here because my friend gave me a Pixel 3 XL that I want to use for Droid Cam, but the battery.
I plugged it up here too, like a freaking moron. Hold on.
the battery has gone on it. So I need to open it.
Put the cable in right here.
What did you do?
Well, we disconnected the cable before.
Exodium, thank you to switching to something other than your little flashy doodle.
Your egg face. That's what they call on Twitter.
I really need to set a StreamYard avatar.
Look at that, Spooting.
Hey, look there. So it works?
I would say that the card works just fine.
So now try setting the startup disk to the optical drive and see if it boots off that, because that will mirror what your card is doing, right?
Wait, so this is Joe's card with Joe's drive?
Here's the problem.
Or is it my card with Joe's drive?
This adapter that Ron gave me only has a single port on it.
Yeah.
So if you have hot air, which I'm pretty sure you do, you can. I mean, I can see it literally right there. You can actually, if that port is just a externally mounted internal port with L-shaped connector, you can actually easily move that internally. And it should work.
It's an eSATA. It's an eSATA connector.
It's actual eSATA?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an eSATA connector. Yeah.
Because mine just had an externally mounted normal SATA port, and I was able to just move it internally.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sorry, is this Joe's card or Ron's card?
This is Ron's card.
Yay!
Oh, it works then. Okay, well, this works. Do a benchmark. I mean, heck, boot it up. Let's see if it works, right?
Show me the exact same numbers you got, Joe.
So yeah, that's interesting. It's only one port though.
It was cheap. I think it was like $8 or something like that. So there's other ones that I've been following on yeah, see, it's got a header. You could solder one on, Joe. You could solder one on.
This is like sort of.
No, that is normal SATA.
That's normal SATA. Yeah, right
oh, it's normal.
You can move that port.
Or just add another one. Or just solder
or just put the cable on the outside.
Well, I need another one. I don't have the port. I don't have the part.
Yeah, so what you'll have to do is I believe one of the little fingers on the outside needs to be trimmed back, but that will move over to the second port.
Okay. Or we can just get another port like the one that's on the end there.
Yeah, Joe, just unsolder the one from your card, put it on my card. You heard Exodia.
The best solution.
You have to.
Joe's actually got like a proper card.
Jeep. Do you see the Jeep? Do you see it?
Yes, I do see it. That's cool.
Anyway.
Sorry. Actually, hold on. What was your jumper set to for JP2? It said raid mode or not? Was it default to raid?
Keith, you do not want raid boot, obviously.
I'm just trying to check everything that's why it's working.
Try to tell me what I want or not.
I mean, you can want raid boot, but your Mac won't.
Cool.
I love it. Well, it clearly works. This is awesome. Hello. Hello there.
That was totally like a top secret kind of moment.
Yeah.
Where it's just everything's going good and then Joe just breaks the fourth wall.
Yep. It is what it is. It is what it is.
So I also think that's only a 2-port controller, so I don't know what happens if you have all both ports installed at the same time, like external and in the second internal.
Mm-hmm.
Stand by. I'm looking through my cache of parts.
Probably the universe just collapses in on itself.
Paradox of some sort? Yeah, I was thinking of a time thing.
The controller may attempt to divide by 0, and Joe will die a very horrible death.
No.
Crossing the stream situation, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No dying.
Oh no, Joe's venturing boldly where no one has gone before. So I mean,
Joe's looking in his container of parts. I know he's finding a SATA connector now.
Here's the deal. I've got something important to say about crossing the streams. It just seems like if the whole thing. No, this is important, and this has been brewing a while. Okay, screenwriters of
don't have one.
Ghostbusters. If the whole thing is you're worried about like protonic reversal and all that type of stuff, why not just tie the ground together between the two proton packs and then it won't matter? You bridged it. You're not,
I love Joe's carefully stacked container of
I have to
interface cards.
Slot.
I saw a VLB card in there. I'm pretty sure. Was it? Very
Uh,
bottom? No, don't take it out. I'm sorry. No, I'm pretty sure I saw
take it
one.
out, Joe. Take it out.
Yep.
It looked like an old.
Oh yeah, look at that VLB.
It is VLB. It's a
controller,
Is it one of the Promise ones, or what are they
Promise.
called? I can't remember. There was like a bunch of those, millions of those sold, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Millions and millions.
It is.
I'm
Billions
gonna
of
mute
hamburgers
because
sold.
I'm gonna do some hot air shenanigans.
It supports
I love
all
those
the
cards.
things. That's all I know.
I will
Good
tell you
old
what,
VLB.
man. I probably in the span of like 6 months upgraded from like the 133, or I'm sorry, the 33 to the 66 to a 133 VLB connector, and I was like, wow, this is just so much faster. It's amazing.
That little Seagate thing with all the jumpers on it is hilarious.
It's so wee. What is that, Joe?
It's just a floppy
See the name
controller.
on it?
Oh, floppy
How
How
controller.
weird.
Neat.
It's an ISA floppy controller. It came
So
with
weird.
one of those Seagate what is those things? Thingamadoodles.
Mhm.
Tape drive.
Yeah. Mhm.
Tape
Sure,
drive.
yeah.
Would be on the in the floppy bus.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Garth, your table runneth over, man. Like, what all do you have going on back there?
It's projects.
Oh, nice. I need a project
is all-
table.
this is all
Instead,
stuff
I've
I
got
need
a
to get rid
project
of.
basement.
Yeah.
Wait, stuff you need to get rid of? Wait.
Yeah.
I see a box copy of System 8 of it. Wait a minute. Is that a Quadra 605?
You want the monkey?
Case? Yes. Yes. Because he probably
That
either.
one? That's my 2CX case.
Oh, nice.
I
was
just
looking
got that
for
one
a
going.
Motherboard I
I
can
need
see.
I need a working
I
video
don't
card that
have
actually works pretty well for it, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And I have one I just found today, but it's blurry. I'm not sure what's wrong with it.
Everything's so
Or
blurry.
it could be my glasses.
You got to go up from that 1.5 cheaters.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm damn impressed how well this stuff works for you guys. It's like
What stuff?
the saddest stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
what I
hopefully
did
the
is I
second patch.
Yep.
I
I,
listened
actually
to
looked over
all
all
of-
the boards, and they all seem fairly sound from what I can see. Just a quick cursory look over,
There
and
you
so I have high hopes, as one says.
I swear.
Eric, the bird is not staring at you; it's staring at Retrotechy.
I see what you're doing and know you can't have it.
So Garth,
Let's do a test. Can you all hear my hot air?
no, we can't hear it. But
That's a
Garth-
shocker.
Garth,
Don't
when
worry,
did
no.
your computer room become the tiki room?
Sorry, Ron. I'm fresh out of first boards.
Technically, he's been in here longer than any of us, so he's been in this closet in here.
He
for
came
many
with the
years.
house.
He's been hiding in the closet for a time to come out.
Along with that guy named Eduardo, he comes out every once in a while, eats some cereal, and goes back into like some hidey hole. We've been trying to get rid of him for years, but he just keeps showing up.
I think it was Dan from Canadian Computer Collectibles. He's talking about this guy at a con that walked around and actually had a parrot on his shoulder that just pooped down his back all day, right? It was a live parrot.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about mounting this on my shoulder and walking around, BC. What do you think? Is that a good idea, Ron?
Yeah, I like it. Just like have occasionally like an egg just fall out the
Right.
back.
Well, Arduino. See, the nerd in me is now like, and I could program an Arduino controller with a random timer that spits little like eggs out the back of it.
Like a ping
and
pong ball, just boop
Yeah.
every so
Ping pong
often.
ball, yeah. Thunk. Yeah.
Gosh, VCF Midwest is going to be so much fun. I'm so glad that so many people are going to make the drive. Not Exodium, but everybody else. It's too far of a drive. I mean, I understand for a lot of folks, but I think that
Yeah,
I
good
know
job,
that's
Joe.
so awesome, Joe. I'm so
Honestly, the
happy.
soldering's awesome. I love watching that. But seriously, right? It's just
I'm
encouraging me more and more to get a proper,
like me.
eye thing so I can actually see what I'm doing.
I'm pretty sure that I can solder like an internal connectory do, as Joe would say, on there.
Yeah,
When
that's
when it comes
that's
back,
pretty
I'll
straightforward. It's not
source
hard.
one of those and get that soldered
Yeah,
on.
just find any old motherboard from all of the machines that you're throwing out before you put the university back together for fall semester.
Yeah.
I'm just fire it off.
Yeah. A lot of those they don't, that side facing kind of connector. That's kind of an older kind of thing, seemingly. I see a lot of modern boards. They point straight up because they're trying to reduce the amount of like cable sort of mess coming out the front.
Yeah.
So I am certain that I have like a million dead boards. Actually, something kind of neat our Polytech department or our Polytech college does is when they replace computer labs, they'll decommission the old machines. And so students have a computer that might only be 4 or 5 years old that are still pretty nicely spec'd. Like those guys, they go all like, like the machines they bought 5 years ago had 32 gigs of RAM, so it's like 32 gigs of RAM and like 1 terabyte SSD and, like the best i7 you could buy in that generation.
I'm just going to interrupt you, Ron, and say, my shipping address.
I know. Geez, what the heck?
Oh no, it's Well,
we
have we've got e-cyclers that kind of come and pick that stuff up. But what I was going to say is the Polytech department, they hang on to that stuff because they'll have a class and they'll be like, hey, like you guys need to know how to like rip the stuff apart and take a look at things and how to unsolder stuff and solder stuff on and just make mistakes and like push boundaries and learn. And so they have like a ton of like junker boards and stuff. I might be able to steal a connector off one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you can't, then you can go to mouser.com or digikey.com and pay 14 cents for the connection and $9 in shipping.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I love about those places.
I can say one of the cards of ours that I guarantee you're not going to work till you can take off the ports on one of ours.
Zodium's back. Hi, Zodium.
I'm actually doing things.
Zodium, I believe that someone has stabbed your phone.
Thankfully, not my actual phone, but just the one I was going to use for Droid Cam. But of course, the battery has started to do things. So I have a battery on order, but I'm diffusing the one currently in here until that gets here.
Caesar phone.
You could just drop the phone in a bucket of salt water, and that will...
That would kill the phone.
Well, but it would also get rid of the lithium in the battery.
I may do that for the actual battery, but definitely not the phone.
I'm not sure that's an accurate statement.
About what? About the salt water and lithium? Salt water and lithium? That's probably fine. I mean, don't Google it or anything.
So it's kind of fun is I have this box of old business cards that have incorrect information on them that I'm just using to kind of keep this nice and open.
I'm going to hide under my banner.
Is this your card?
These are my actual business cards. They just don't have my current
Exodium, this is not how you import your contacts, buddy.
I just want to let everybody in the chat know the link that's been on the screen for the last minute or so. Again, this is Zodium's wonderful guide on how to do what we just showed today. All the work that Zodium did, along with the work that Garth helped with in testing the process, and there were several other people that are mentioned in the link there that were part of this process to now make our PowerMacs move like lightning. So again, thank you all for the information and stuff.
Yeah, really, most of what I did was just kind of consolidate a lot of the information out there because a lot of it is already out there, but it's kind of in very scattered places. Like some of it, 68K MLA data loss thing happened, and this way it's just all in one convenient place with a much easier to use guide because nobody wanted to go in. Here's the ROM file. How do you use the ROM file? What do you need to program it? And a lot of people just said, "Oh, you can stick it in a PC," but that doesn't always work either. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't it something about the PC programming utility is not expecting the link? I think that you wrote that it's not expecting that file size link, so it just insta fails.
Sometimes it'll do some checks, like it'll know it's not supposed to go onto that card. So it'll be like, no, what are you doing? Whereas with an EEPROM programmer, it's like, I don't care. Is there enough room on that EEPROM for this ROM? Yes, flash it. I don't care what the ROM is for, what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Flash it. Don't care.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the thing. Like, PC flashing is great if you don't want to have to deal with the tools and such. The problem with PC flashing also is that you can't use it on a blank ROM. So if you have if you had to buy one of the blank ROMs to put on the card, and you try to put it in the PC, it's not going to know what that card is because that's all on that ROM. Right. So you need a programmer anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The default ROM size on the cards, and the ones that we were finding too, also isn't large enough for the Mac ROM, right?
Yeah.
I do not believe so. They are they are large enough if you want to use the Weebitech. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but the Weebitech firmware, I believe, and that will work great for OS 10, but not for Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the trick is you kind of have to swap the ROM anyway, and then of course you need to get the right ROM, the right card, etc.
Mm-hmm. And there's a problem or an issue with the ROM itself. It'll only the machine or the firmware will only work on specific brands of ROM chips as well.
Yeah, it has like, so I'm going to repeat terminology that I've heard, but I've not completely understood. Apparently there is a check in NDrive or NDRV that checks the ROM chip, the model of the ROM chip that you're using, and if it doesn't match one of three, then it just doesn't load the driver at all, and you will see the card in Apple System Profiler, but you will not it will not mount any drives. And I've actually asked high authorities, including DOS-Dude1, to poke at this, and he couldn't. Or at least he didn't have the time to, I don't think. I don't know. But it's like, it would be nice if someone were to get in there and, like, crack that thing wide open, because the problem is going to be those chips are all obsoleted, I believe, as of right now. So the stuff you can get from, like, DigiKey or Mauser or whatever, it's all stocked. It's not going to be replenished. So
right.
Eventually it's going to become really hard to get those chips.
Well, that's why I ordered from DigiKey. Because everybody was like, "Oh, I got mine on AliExpress," and I was like, "I don't know if I got that kind of time, so I will just order. I will just order from people on this hemisphere."
How is that supposed to work? How does that function? Sorry, I'm doing some modifications to 3D printers, to the spool holder for the 3D printer.
Oh, damn. I hit everything on the way up.
And I just, so I download this thing without thinking about it. So here's the nub. I need to extend the length of this because I have one spool that's like a 2.2 kilogram spool, and it just won't fit on my printer. So I'm I got to extend that. But the problem is this doesn't fit in that thing. It didn't go in there. It doesn't screw on. So I just spent an hour and a half printing this because I didn't pay attention to what I was doing, and it won't work. Welcome to 3D printing, folks.
Welcome to just about anything.
Is that, Ron? Is that an 8100 or that's an 8500?
It's supposed to screw onto the.
Don't tell Steve.
Oh, it's a Quadra. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's just...
848V, baby.
Now Steve's gonna be like, "Can I have it?"
Yeah. Steve, Ron.
Yeah.
You're really gonna want to randomly put a camera focused at some spot without paying any attention to it and fix whatever trace you find broken.
And what? put a camera at a random spot and then what?
Fix whatever happens to be at that random spot.
Oh yeah.
Maybe 5 years.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So I take it doesn't work.
Oh, this.
Hopefully, I didn't just commit a massive screw up.
I honestly don't know. I was gonna look for the CMOS battery before I did
Let's
anything.
not dox myself, even though that is incorrect information on the card.
Bum bum bum.
I know your name and address. Oh, sorry.
Oh no! Not another palette of googly eyes.
Gosh, that's scary.
How do you get back there?
I'm not crazy, I promise.
Ron, you have to disassemble the entire board, just like the
Oh, I
episode of
know.
Contact.
I know.
Like, the way you make a pie is to create the universe.
All right.
Thanks, Carl Sagan.
Let's see. Over under on if I destroyed the fingerprint scanner.
60-40. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I just threw numbers.
This boy does not want to come off.
Lights in here.
Ender 3 Pro long spool. They got these extension doodles that are not helpful.
Yes, extension doodles.
Extension doodles.
All right. I'm pretty sure that that's all you have to do. And then you break this tab because thanks, Apple. Or actually, no, I gotta take this out.
That's one of the systems you only want to take apart once.
Right. But the plastics on this one aren't like, well, I'm not gonna say anything. I was gonna say they're not like terrible.
Not great, but not terrible.
Yeah.
Dude, like I said, it's Schrodinger's plastic.
It's a very, very Chernobyl sort of thing. Not great, not terrible.
3.6.
Does the power supply work?
Oh, yeah. Well, no. That's the whole thing. Taking it apart to test that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I forgot. You got to take a screw out too, and I don't have a screwdriver sitting here.
Oh, those are the worst ever.
Excuse me.
I think it's upstairs. Well, I'm gonna run upstairs. I'll be right back.
Bye. Everybody, hum Ron's song. Dun, 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 dun.
It might have the Star Wars Lego set Death Star, but can he chug a sparkling water and not burp? Oh my gosh! What do I do?
The best part was the end. It is that, obviously.
So if there's anybody in the chat who's a 3D printer person and knows some way I can extend my print spool holder to hold a 90 millimeter spool on my brand new Ender 3 S1 Pro, I would be much appreciated.
A dowel and some
I have returned.
Dremel tools stuff.
Ooh, a dowel, that'll work. No, I can show you what it is. Maybe? Can I get a camera over there? I don't know if I can. Maybe? Because I don't have my second camera. I can I can probably hand hold it.
Oh, the fingerprint scanner is on the opposite side of the phone. Okay, maybe we're all right.
Is that a good thing?
Maybe. It might already be boned at that point then.
Such a beautiful logic board, Ron.
I
I'm gonna
know.
unplug this and we're gonna see if the phone turns off. Nope, it behaved itself. This phone is really weird. So here's the cinch.
Look how big your basement is. It's huge.
What? Hold on, I'll get out a tape measure. So this arm right here that holds the spool is too short in this direction. What happens is if I put this in the really big spool on here, the spool will actually interfere with the drive belt. So I can't put big spools on here. But the problem is I've got like 8 big spools, and I don't feel like respooling them and doing the whatever. So I have to extend it in this direction, right? But like I can't. There's nothing I can do to extend it that way. It's silly. So
Can you make a round thing that fits in the middle of the circly hole to make the hole smaller to extend it up just about an inch? Is that enough space, or is that too big?
Oh no. No, it's
It's like a record thing. that 45 record thing.
Oh yeah. See, the thing is, you can just 3D print something to do the thing, right? But
Yeah.
and the phone just rebooted itself. Yep, this phone is stupid.
What phone?
It's an old iPhone 7 or 8 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Turn it back.
No wonder.
So, we have
Oh, you are working on things. I got
VRAM.
nothing.
VRAM.
I do have another thing here I might be able to.
So what's the stock VRAM on this machine?
Don't stop believing. Or do stop. I mean, I'm not your boss.
Just a small town Joe.
Living in a building world. Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Oh man, I love you guys. You're great. We have fun. We now have more people watching right now with us just goofing off and doing nothing than we did at the beginning of the stream when we were actually doing the thing the stream is about.
Well, sometimes it just
Isn't that always how it goes, though?
Maybe.
Maybe
something good.
Maybe something bad.
You
Who knows?
because you're not gonna touch it.
Maybe something good. Maybe something bad.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. What does that mean, goes?
Alright, so let's see.
That
Oh
way.
Jesus!
Can you
So
see
it
the
has-
weird contraption I'm making? You're picking up what I'm putting down.
So this machine can only accept 256K VRAM modules. So very much kind of like the Quadra 700.
Bye, Garth.
Ah, holy crap! It finally.
Finally,
How
All right.
fine.
Let's see how we get this fingerprint scanner off without breaking it.
finally.
Finally, it's happened to me. Oh wait,
Right in front of my face.
And I just cannot hide it.
that kind of works.
Okay, so I took my multimeter with me
Multimeter.
to the event.
To my right.
So I'm fairly certain it'll be in with all this stuff.
Sir, what was it? A Kaiweets KM601?
Well, hold on. Let me check real fast. It's a pretty
Yay!
high end.
I got it working again.
It's a pretty high end multimeter that I purchased. So, oh yeah.
Maybe good. Sometimes maybe shit.
Oh,
My
you
stream.
see this battery is either going bad or very happy to see me.
Here it is. Here it is. It's nothing but the best, baby.
Kaiweets.
That's funny. That's some. Who sold you that on the street there, Ron?
The guy I bought it from, he also had some magic beans, and it all worked out really nicely. So, feeling all right about it.
In a very literal sense. Yeah, they're working. Cool. So, like, my space here is so small. My tripods
How
are
small
actually
is it, Joe?
mic stands. So yeah. What are you saying? Small what?
Oh, so you're saying my face is so small. I was like, how small was it, Joe?
Oh, that joke. That's the joke we're doing?
Yeah, we could do that a joke about your area, your choice. Tell me about your small area, Joe.
It's so small it only fits 1.5 giraffes.
Oh no.
I'll do anything to keep from measuring it in the images.
That's exactly right. My metric video is actually done rather well.
Steve! Hi, Steve.
Steve!
Oh, don't let Steve see my Quadra 840 AV.
Oh god, you're gonna give Steve PTSD.
It's Steve TSD.
There it is, right there.
Steve TSD. Don't know if
Oh
it
my
works.
goodness. Time to bring out not sponsored, but awesome toolkit.
Captain tape.
So at the beginning of the
I think Steve just cursed your board there, Ron. Sorry.
What did Steve do? I'm looking the other direction, so I don't have to look at his Dickensian orphan face.
Joe, can we get a highlight? There we go.
I hope it's the dark colored board and all the traces are garbage.
Poor Steve.
It's a beautiful colored logic board. I love those dark boards.
I wonder, did we break it?
Have to work on
Does
it.
it have power?
Oh, there it goes.
Oh my Jesus! This thing is burnt. This is why OLED, not even once, folks. Like,
Oh, it's really
holy!
Oh yeah, look at the top of the screen, dude.
OLED is great. OLED is wonderful. Why do people like this technology again?
It's like the OLED screen on the front of my soldering station. You can tell like which parts of it the screensaver runs on and which don't.
This is supposed to be white, and it's like pink.
Oh man. So Ron, I have a special little treat for you.
What's that? Oh, is it 31 flavors?
Yay!
There you
Oh
go.
yeah, I love it. That's cool.
Yep.
Sweet.
Fun fact: I've been signing my name like that since 4th grade when I had to change my name for the witness protection. Oh wait, I gotta go. Bye.
Don't.
Yeah, I was like, you can't keep doing this, Steve. Every 6 months, we keep having to relocate you.
Oh.
They didn't break. Nothing's breaking. Yay!
It didn't break. It didn't break. We are so lucky that it didn't break.
Give me a break. Leave me a break.
Well, you know, this is actually a good thing, because if I'm going to use this thing for Droid Cam, I don't have to worry about the screen burning in.
Yeah.
It's already burnt.
Yeah.
It's actually a good thing.
See, that's why I use like my old phones for just side cams and stuff. It's the perfect use for it.
This is so
It's like if it falls and breaks,
in here.
and I've already done the thing with it. I don't need to do the thing again. It's fine. It's all good.
You know, given how much
Oh,
this
gentle.
phone costs, I wonder.
I wonder. Wonder.
Top report.
Small 3XL display.
I just broke the SATA connector on my SATA card.
Oh no.
Wow, the Pixel 3XL display is worth more than the phone itself. Good job.
That probably comes from me opening the case and yanking the cables a couple of times. I mean, it's still
Hey,
doesn't
Steve, if that's your real name.
stuck in my head now.
What is?
Give me a break. Give me a break. Break
Yeah,
me
that.
a bit of that fancy feast. How's it go?
Fancy.
Yeah, it's a fancy feast.
You cat people.
Feast so fancy. Vittles. That are so tender.
You know what theme lives in my head rent free? The Mentos theme.
My favorite is the Foo Fighters version.
You mean the Foo Fighters song? Oh wait, hold on.
Everybody's vaguely European. Fresh goes better with life. Because Americans don't look like this.
Oh my goodness.
They don't. They don't. Like, no. Everybody looks like they just came from like a Wham concert. No one looks like that.
What's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with it. Actually, I will tell you something that's really neat. If you have not done this, go out and watch before it's before it's Christmas time, and then you like whamageddon yourself.
The 4K one?
Go watch the 4K.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my watch list.
Yeah, it's amazing because it's like it's as if somebody made a 80s video today. Because I mean, it just looks so beautiful to just remember what people used to look like. Seemingly back before they had full.
He had the most amazing hair, I gotta say.
Yeah, no, he's great.
T3, what do you think you are, Apple?
Your computer did not shut down.
I mean, he gave you his heart, and then the very next day,
Go. Boot.
Somebody give it away.
you gave it away.
So the question here for Steve is, did we actually find a mouse? Or was the entire thing just a big joke to get watch hours on his second channel for the camera pointed at the literal computer mouse?
I don't care. Just saying, I don't care what Steve says. That does not count towards the stream record.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, y'all. If we see any oh shit, I guess I gotta put this jig back in.
And it's gonna sit here. There it goes. And now I can shut it down. There it goes.
Now I need my proper glasses.
All right, let's see what happens, y'all.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it made it. It turned on.
So we're gonna get this out of the way. Put it away. Put it away. Put it away. Put it away now.
What you got to give it to your brother. I won't say the other words because, you know.
Because you get by on your prehistoric know-how. Yabba dabba.
Don't get me started on Vanilla Ice lyrics.
Yabba dabba do now.
No, vanilla
It's
ice.
actually not good.
Top right edge.
And demonetized.
Where is focus? This is
Copyright strike.
That might be fine.
There we go. That's back in where it goes.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
I'm going to put away this Mac standby, and then I'm going to show something off to everybody because I think it's freaking neat.
What's that?
Dumbest thing ever, but I think it's neat.
Actually, funny enough, this is better than my. This is my microscope right now. Sad.
7300/200/ insanely overpowered machine. Back in its on the. However, I do want to show off something really cool.
Isn't it adhered to the display?
Hey, Joe said, Steve said, keep your pants on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know it. So, right here.
Right now, watching the world wake up to his.
We did that joke already, Ron.
Did you really?
We've been doing it
Like
all
a
night.
vertical horizon joke on this stream in this economy?
No, but seriously, is a Performer 410, which seems kind of weird and like super simplistic to be talking about. But I'm going to zoom in on this right here, and I've got an Ethernet card.
Only 10 megabit, yeah.
So that's a thing.
Charging coil and the battery.
And I'm going to show you what the computer is running after I move the video connector to it, because I'm not fancy like you all with all your video capture cards and your blackjack and hookers.
And demonetized.
Demonetized.
Okay,
We're an hour in and we're fine now, as long as we're not dropping F-bombs. So on this machine, connected to the internet right now. As a matter of fact, I should probably, well, I don't care. They're just
I hate this keyboard.
Nobody cares about having their IP address on here. Is I'm running Microsoft Personal Web Server. And you can see that internal IP address. I don't care about that. Good luck getting to it. So this machine right now is running a web server. So if you go to retro.anonymous.net, you will be served a web page from this computer.
I love it.
So I'm going to put the link-a-doodle in there and show it. And if you go there and you look very carefully, you'll see your IP address show up in the list. So yeah, took a very interesting set of circumstances to get that to run. This was inspired by, or I should say, re-inspired by Bruce, and his running basically the exact same setup on an LC3. I'm doing it on LC2 because it's the machine I have that is old enough and also has a network adapter in it. I tried to do this years ago on a PowerMac 6100 200 or 6100 250 or something like that. It actually sells on the page. If you go to the page, you'll see it. But I was using Mac HTTP 2.6, which is very, very crashy. It just randomly will break the machine. This thing here has been running for a week now, solid without a problem. Yeah, Mac OS like 755 running for a week without crashing. I mean, come on. It's a miracle. But it works. It's working great.
Disconnected.
So, yeah. Until that website activity bar gets all the way to the right, and then I'll get a limit break, and I'll be able to do I don't know, sword blast or shotgun or whatever it is for Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, so my plan for this silly little site is periodically I'm going to change the machine that hosts them. So, like Eric Rangel said, or Rangel, how he pronounces it. So you can serve an Apple IIe from that website. Yes, I can. Thanks to I believe his name is Vince. He goes by the name Dieter. There's an actual Apple II, like it'll run on an Apple IIe with an Ethernet card, an Apple II that runs mostly in AppleSoft Basic that I could put on the internet. So I might do that, or I might get an old Windows NT 4.0 machine on the internet and watch people hack the crap out of it because it's full of holes. Wouldn't that be fun? And just whatever. Because I have it behind a fully secured VLAN and all of that stuff, people can feel free to destroy this machine as much as they want. All they're ever going to get to is that machine. So yeah, so that's what it's going to be. So I'm going to change it around, see what happens, have some fun with it. And
that sounds like a challenge, right?
Yeah. Hack the computer. What? What'd you drive?
I broke an adhesive strip.
Oh, it would snap and it went across the room, and yeah. So,
all right. So we're going to be 2 for 2 here.
Poor Mac thinks it's 1922 because it doesn't support in the user interface for setting dates above 1999, but whatever.
Whatever.
What about an old 486 running Red Hat 5? That would be cool. Interesting fact, my first version of Linux that I ever personally installed and ran on a machine was Red Hat 6. Cool stuff. So, Garth, are you trying to take that socket out of that board you showed me earlier?
No, this is actually the board that has the physical damage on it that's basically shot.
Gotcha.
But it's so pretty. It really is, right? Actually, this is the first board I ran my cleaner. And which ironically was already really cleaned up nicely, but it just reminds you of the board that Ron's got there with his 840.
Yeah. Well, what machine is that? I'm not as versed in these.
It's from a Quadra 610. Somebody jammed like a screwdriver into the board right at the point of the socket here, and just destroyed a whole row of traces here. I don't know if they were trying to literally peel off the socket. I thought it was actually the clips for the CPU, or they had a heatsink on or something, but I don't know. But yeah, it's all damaged.
Yeah, that's my guess. They were trying to get the chip out, and they just destroyed it.
Oh, didn't you guys see that video where somebody was like, hey, take your machine and go ahead and pry the CPU socket off so I can see if it's like an FPU?
Oh, gosh.
Who was that happened to? That they were like, hey, go ahead and pull the heatsink off so I can verify that it's the FPU chip and not the other one. And whoever did it just gouged the shit out of the motherboard. And then they were really upset because they were like, oh, it got destroyed. I can't believe these people did this. And it was like, Well, I probably wouldn't have asked them to do that. That just seems like asking for trouble.
I got this board actually like 2 years ago, and actually the funny thing is, now I think about it, this actually came in a Centra 610 box.
Nice.
And it's a Quadra 610 board though, so now I think about it, I gotta go look at that case, but because I wonder if the bottom plate is actually a Centra or a Quadra 610 plate.
Maybe.
Because of the obviously Ethernet, because Centris didn't have Ethernet built in. This is the Ethernet chip and stuff. So
is that AAUI connected garbage?
Yeah, AUI.
You know,
It's AUI. It's AUI, but Apple's AUI, which is completely different.
But this will be a nice parts board.
You know, I bought a ton of those cute little cat, like adapter things for batteries, and I have no idea what I did with them. That's really like annoying because this E40 EV is not powering on, and I don't know if it absolutely like needs a battery because you can't do the soft switch trick. So I might have to wait. I might have to get some stuff and try it.
If it's turning on, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, because that was very helpful. Well, if it's turning on, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, just thinking, if it's actually turning on, but you're just not getting video, or you're getting no chime either, right?
No, I'm not getting a chime either.
I don't. My guess is it's not the battery.
Yeah. Well, it's possible. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot invested in the machine, so I'm kind of like.
I want to give a thanks to Michael's Workshop, who just sent me a message on Discord with a link to a Thingiverse project to make an external spool holder for my 3D printer that is not reliant on the printer's accessories at all. It's just this little freestanding thingadoodles.
Perfect.
Yeah, very technical.
I'll put a link there so anybody can see it. It's basically these little brackets you print. You print it right on your printer, and you put the roller bearings in there, and then it just like will roll on the roller bearings. It's pretty nifty. Schnifty. Printers.
All right, guys, I'm gonna take off. Thank you, Joe, and thank you for having me for alternate.
No problem. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good evening.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank God he's gone. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, thank God.
We love you, Garth. Thanks for stopping by.
All right.
Cool beans. Oh, I've been staring at that status screen for long enough. Let's do something. I don't know. The stream's not long enough yet. We need to go another like half hour to an hour at least.
Probably.
So maybe I will recap a Classic 2 logic board. How's that sound? Does that sound like fun?
Yeah, that sounds like something.
Well, at least get started on it. Oh, I don't know. Going on the lights. Sure, why not? Why not? Cool. So this is one of two. I keep calling them color classics because it has classic in the name. This is one of two Mac Classic 2s that I got in a batch from a gentleman, along with a LaserWriter 320, which is up here off the screen. The machine is basically pristine new in box. It came in the box. It was opened once, taken out of the box, put back in the box, and closed. And that's it. There is no dust on the inside of the machine, like maybe just a tiny bit. There's no accumulated junk. There's no heat damage. There's nothing. It's perfect. It's in perfect condition.
No wind.
It's old and the capacitors still need to be removed. So we might as well do that. Oh, and remove the bombs that are inside them so that they don't battery and explode. Yep. Learn to battery. Classic 2 is kind of sometimes thought of as the SE30's redheaded stepbrother because it's similar in performance, kind of. It's got the 68030 processor in it, but it's capped by the bus. In addition, it can't see as much RAM. But it is a solid little classic black and white. So I like them. That
is Exodium getting murdered by a dog, or what's happening?
Yeah, that's
what? Yeah, the dogs are doing their thing as they do this time of night. However, crap. I think I have succeeded in my mission here without blowing myself up on a puffy battery.
So, battery removed. Ron, this one's for you.
Nice. Thanks.
This board is actually in worse case or in worse shape than I thought originally, which they always are. So we'll show you.
Okay.
Ew, nasty. Now it's very possible that it was perfectly fine until I turned it on to test it, and the caps decided to then leak and start leaking at that point.
That happens.
But as you can see, even though there's crud, there's no real, there's no corrosion. It's just cruddy, right? It's just slimy. That chip right there is a little grumpy, maybe. But it's just slimy. So I think we caught it early enough in its lifespan of Destructadoodles here to have prevented it from getting too bad. Yeah. I mean, it's just crusty. There's no real corrosion going on. So we can just yank these chips out of here. Or not chips, these capacidoodles, and replace them.
Right. I mean,
that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And I'm going to use the method everybody hates.
Are you going to twist them off?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay. Because that's what the kids love.
This one here is a little tricky to get in on.
I really wish I knew what I did.
All right.
With those little batteries.
Making Bruce cringe in 3, 2, 1.
Snap.
I found that if you press down on the capacitor while you do the snip trick, it usually doesn't cause you problems.
Sure. I mean, except for all the times it does, but still, that is beside the point.
Ron?
What?
I love you.
I love you too, man.
There we go.
Don't do what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
Now we'll go across the room, away from me.
Keep in mind that as well. Ooh, man, that is crustier than I thought it was. That's fine. Look at the crunchies, everybody. Mmm. Forbidden dust.
Mmm, Cheeto dust.
I'm going to get this. I need to adjust my eyepieces here to get this in perfect focus.
All right, so we have successfully diffused the Pixel 3. That's good.
There we go.
That's nice.
There we go. Now I match.
That was officially the most nerve-wracking thing I think I've done in quite a while.
What's that, boy? Zodium's caught at the bottom of a well.
I'm gonna mute because like it's dog feeding time and they get real loud for some odd reason because they're so excited.
As you can see, with the way I'm doing this carefully, I haven't damaged a single pad or pulled a single anything yet.
Gosh,
yet. So generally, I'm not an advocate of this process, but these things are so close to so many things that could melt. I'm just being super careful with it.
honestly, I've kind of come around to that process because, like, even when I tried to hot air some stuff off of like some old boards, I would lift some pads, even though like I was super careful.
Yeah. With this process, it gives you a little bit more physical control, in my opinion.
I found them. I found the cats.
The what? The where or the what?
I'll show you here in a minute.
Okay.
But what's that? Zodium's dog? Zodium's caught in Old Man Johnson's murder nest?
Old Man Johnson nest? Oh,
No one said that. This is the.
So please highlight Justin's comment.
Zodium's trapped at the bottom of Xfinity's incompetence. This is a true statement. Oh my gosh. Hey, we need to do a woot because our fellow Retro Repair Roundup guy is here. Rudy's Retro Intel. Sup? Woo!
Hey,
thank you, Rudy.
Rudrick.
We are doing multiple different wacky things tonight. We started with the SATA card thing we did for Ron at the very beginning, and now we're just hanging out. And
yeah, if you're into that.
Because it's Friday night, and
the kids are all right.
Yeah, we don't have any plans, so. Friday night streaming. KHBSD is here as well, one of our patrons. Hello. Thank you for stopping by.
Wait, he's here? Oh, I got to get the disguise. I'll be right back.
You know, it is always something with Exodium. Okay, so here's those cat things that I was talking about.
Oh, the cat things. Let's make you big. Let's bigify you.
Yes, they are that.
Oh, yeah.
Cat things. So the idea is that you place your bateria in there, and then you don't have to use the bad batteries anymore.
Yay!
There you go. Make the BSD man go away.
What? Oh, yeah. Big fish. Tim Cross and a super sticker. Thanks, Tim Cross. Woo! What's everybody up to, Rudy asks. Well, I can say what I'm doing, but I can't tell about the others. So I will say what I'm doing and let them say what they're doing. I am recapping a Macintosh Classic keyboard. What is Zodium doing? Something with a...
I am diffusing a bomb. Well, this Pixel 3 XL is going to be my Droid Cam phone, and a friend gave it to me, but the battery was starting to decided it was going to blow up. So I'm now in the end stages of getting that thing out of here before it does blow up, and I have a new battery on the way, but I'm just getting this thing ready to put a new battery into it.
Cool. And what's Ron working on?
I'm just looking at my 840 AV, seeing what's the dealio.
That wonderful 840 AV right there.
Yeah.
Steve is like, I hate you.
Hey, you know, Steve's 840 AV works now, so.
Did he ever actually get that thing fully working, or did it still need a little bit of help?
I mean, well, if we're talking about relativeness here, it works compared to Ron's 840.
Well, I mean, I just started looking at mine, so.
Yeah. We have to give you 5 years, right?
Yeah. It's all right. I'm not sure that my story ends with keeping this in my possession. I mean, it's an okay machine, but it came with what I really wanted. They threw it in.
What was that?
A 96. Oh, sorry. I probably ought to swing the camera or the mic around. A 9600 that had the full length DOS compatibility card and a Voodoo 1 and a bunch of other junk in it.
Is that the compatibility card that I had to fix up for you?
No, this is another one.
With the same problem?
No, it's just fine. I haven't had a chance to bring it downstairs and mess with it, but I'll do that tomorrow.
So the BSD man asked, what was the process of getting the battery out? And, well, it was the back cover was mostly already kind of off. I just kind of had to help it along a bit more because the battery had swollen up. And now I'm just getting all the adhesive gunk off to put new adhesive on it whenever I get the new battery. And probably going to just put some crappy adhesive on here because this phone is not mission critical in any possible way.
Do I need to ship you some of that wonderful eucalyptus oil?
Oh my God. Now what am I doing? I have alcohol.
Ooh, alcohol. Now you're talking. Now it's a party. Oh, I'm juvenile.
I'd still rather do this than
Shit.
I suppose if the back glass were cracked, I would be singing a different tune. But the 2011 MacBook Pro I had to repair recently was fun with having to pull the broken glass off of it. Something I never want to do again.
I can hear the pain in your voice.
I'd say these aren't especially great. Maybe I need to continue on with my battery project.
Not sure why I'm really doing this, but
You need a break from that SE30 that was giving you pain?
with more pain, yes.
But different pain.
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of expected it, but I'm also kind of bummed nonetheless, but I know it's in good hands.
Well, we will do our best here at Joe's Computers.
And before it stumps everybody and it goes to Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
This time I'll ship it directly to friggin' Bruce so it gets there.
Watch is good news. Your board repair is free. Bad news. I've never quite seen an SE30 fail like this, and I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
It's like, well, time to get it reloaded.
Yeah. I think that's in a lot of people's future.
Actually, one of my Twitter followers who I actually met at VCF said he has a spare SE30 board if this one doesn't work out. So
Well, that's good.
That's
I've
nice.
got that, and then I do have an SE30 reloaded, like built with my name on it. It's just the person who has it's kind of going through a lot of IRL stuff right now. So
Mm. Did you tell everybody how you got that SE30? I don't think some of the my watchers might know, but some others might not.
Oh, the SE30 board. Pretty much, I got the board at VC. Well, so somebody was going to consign it in a local Discord server I'm in, and I said, actually, for the price you're asking, I would actually like that board if you're not above, not consigning it. And so he was like, yeah, sure. I'll just hold it for you, and we can pick it up before VCF West. And we picked it up, or I picked it up, I should say, not we. I picked it up, and it looked pretty good at first, but whoever did the recap job, and I don't think it was the person I bought it from, he just pretty much had it in storage. They didn't do a good job of it. It was like they used all tantalums, but like a lot of them were kind of just barely hanging on. Mm-hmm. So at VCF West, we were situated up next to the board repair table, which was being run by Elemento. And
yeah,
you know who he is by the SE30 stuff he's actually been doing. Bruce had it on his stream for a minute, like the schematics and manuals and such that he's working on. And he noticed I had the board, and he said, I could have a look at that for you when we get some downtime, because we're kind of front loaded today on work, but if we get a moment, we can bring it over and have a look at it. So he did, and it worked. Like, they plugged it into their test jig, It came up perfectly fine, besides the ROM slot being broken. But again, Joe coming to the rescue on that one, so I'm not worried about it. But it worked. It came up to the floppy disk icon, so they ultrasonicked it, and it was awesome. It looked pretty good because whoever recapped it didn't clean off the cap gunk.
Right.
I'm not sure why, but so got it home and threw it in my SE chassis. Unfortunately, it didn't work. So I hit my head on it for a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, a few hours. I recapped it because I thought, okay, the horrible recap job maybe got slightly undone by the ultrasonic. And I noticed a couple of the caps were barely hanging on. And sadly, that brought it back to life once and then not again. So it ended up falling over on itself again. And I hit my head on it for a few more hours. And Joe's like, I'll save you from your personal hell.
Yeah, just send it to me and we'll take a look at it. We'll make a fun stream or something out of it. And we'll get it working again. And yes, I am using the Royal Wii.
I want to know what went wrong because, like, I want to know if my hypothesis is correct because I really strongly suspect it's like around the power caps. I'm assuming that's what those 3 caps by the power connector are because those are the first ones I decided to rework when the machine wouldn't boot the first time.
Yeah.
And I recapped those. Well, I quote unquote recapped. I mean, I took the cap off, cleaned up the pads, and put them back on. And then the machine sprung back to life when I was done with that. And then it died again. So I'm personally, like, my hypothesis is something in that area went bad.
Yeah. It's possible a trace was just marginal and it popped out or whatever.
Yeah. And what was really kind of funny is I was taking the caps off the board. Whoever did the recap before, I guess the person who I bought it from, or I haven't bought it yet, I should say, because they were like, yeah, this board looks also kind of jank at the same time, so make sure it's fully working before you send me the money. So they're kind of just letting me screw with the board for right now before I commit to buying it.
Uh-huh.
However, whoever had the board before, they did what Joe is doing was doing with pulling the caps off, but they left part of the legs behind and just put the cap onto the little stubs that were there. And I was like, what? What the? What?
Maybe, and we have to be careful with how we say that too. They may have been the first board they ever recapped and they decided to punt. You never know.
I know.
Doing that professionally, they need to be, smacked. That's not how you do it.
That's like I take the Rossman viewpoint on that stuff. It's like if it's you doing something for yourself,
yeah,
like it's fine. Like screw up all you like because you're learning. That's kind of the point. You're supposed to be learning. But if you're doing it as a service to other people and massively screwing it up,
charging money.
Yes,
that's the key.
Yeah, and I should mention, like, somebody from VCF actually contacted me because I mentioned having a spot welder, asked me if I could rebuild one of their Pismo batteries, and I said, listen, if you cover shipping, I will do it for free because it's going to be a learning experience for me. Like, I know the motions, and I know kind of what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's the first time I've actually rebuilt a battery. So if you're comfortable with that, I will do it for free, free plus the cost of shipping.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to charge money for it and comically screw up.
Right, and that's a very important distinction. Is the moment, and even personally, if you're doing it for anybody, and you charge money, that then constitutes a legal contract.
Yeah,
that puts you on the hook for, or potentially for whatever. So if you're going to do this stuff, don't charge people for doing it I mean, minus maybe parts. I mean, parts make sense, but don't be charging people labor or giving any promises until you get good, so to speak. Practice a lot. Buy a whole bunch of bombed boards and just practice on bombed boards.
I think to kind of I mean, he DM'd me about it before, so that's kind of a good thing. It ended up in Joe's hands anyway, because I'm loaded down with a bunch of stuff. But Ron also contacted me about the SATA cards and such, and I said, listen, I don't want to, I'm good at, I've got this down to a science at this point in time. God, I can't English today. Yes. However, given the recent successful failure we had with the cards that Garth bought, and those ended up being basically duds if we're using them on old world Macs, it's all I would ask for is just a donation to cover the tools that I would use for the process, but that's it. I don't want actual money for this, because I am comfortable but not 100% comfortable with it yet.
Yeah. And this is why we never assume it's only just the capacitors. Here you go. Here's one reason why, right here. Look at that.
Found a VIA. Yep.
VIA.
That's what really got me about the SE30s. I kept finding I saw a VIA on C9 that looked really sus, and I was like, "Oh yes, I found it! I found it!" Then I toned it out, and it's nope, that was a nothing burger.
Mm-hmm. Power supply looks okay.
What was that?
Power supply looks okay on this machine, but
cool.
I'm not getting I'm not getting chimes or anything like that. So,
also, while I'm on the subject, shout out to the Tech Night for sitting through a troubleshooting session with the SE30 with me, looking at the board and pointing out things he thought were not kosher, because he helped quite a bit in narrowing things down, and Dosty won as well.
That guy is the bomb.
The Tech Night? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Very, very nice with his time.
I wish I had the way he can recall knowledge so well and just on his feet. I wish my brain could do that. I could say something about the SE and he'll immediately know what I'm talking about without even having to look it up. Dosty one's the same way too. I remember I was pointing out what the heck is Q9 on this board? He's ADB circuit. Part number for the transistor. Here you go.
Hey, if you have that part number, what is it to me?
I need to search back in the conversation to find it though. I would do it on my phone, but my phone is currently my camera, which is why I'm repairing this one.
I am cleaning all of the crud out of this VIA so it stops the corrosion.
I just see I don't know if you've seen those videos where people put ice cubes in their garbage disposal and a whole bunch of just hell spews out of it, but that's what it was looking like there for a minute.
Yeah.
Also, Rudy, that's awesome of you. I love it when people in the community are just we're not in it. I understand also on the flip having keep a roof over your head and such, for stuff like that. But I also appreciate it's money isn't the primary motivator for a lot of this. To most of us.
Go to jcm-1.com and buy things.
Did you know that just for $1 a month you can support me over on patreon.com? That's right. Ron's computer videos. Patreon.com.
Have commitment issues? Go to ko-fi.com/exodium with EXXODIUM. And I won't make you do a subscription. Just give me one-time money. No, I'm kidding. I've thought about starting a Patreon, but I don't feel like I make enough regular content to justify it.
I agree.
I will use my income creation endeavors for my processes that I do, again, are not to get rich off of this or take advantage of anything. Just I like to give back to the community, and that costs. And we are all finite resources, of course. So my costs just go back into, or my income goes back into the cost of doing the thing. So
plus Joe's $750 a day cocaine habit.
dude,
Between those things.
why do you think I'm so hyper on stream all the time, man? I mean, that energy's got to come from somewhere.
It does.
That's worth the cost of the Patreon subscription alone, right there. If I'm honest.
Okay. Having now taken a look.
I think that's all cleaned up now. Cool. Normal view.
Normal view.
Steve says that all the time. What the heck is that from?
It's from Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie. There's a scene where they're like showing like a planet or something. They're up in a spaceship, and he's like, the alien guy is like, and there it is. And anyway, and they're showing a zoom, and then he was like, normal view, and then they play like some kind of music, and they say normal view, normal view, normal view.
Well,
If I were Joe, I'd be saying like main screen turn on.
Main screen turn on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that movie. I have never watched it.
It's pretty okay. It's shorter than an episode of the actual series. So here's the fun thing. I turned this on and a bunch of the caps started to leak.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's probably what happened to these classics I'm working on. They were in perfect condition before I turned them on for the first time.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to probably send this off to someone who wants to put this in a.
Send it to Steve.
Steve's got too much going on these days.
I know.
I need to send this off to somebody who can soak this board.
Shout outs to Steve too. He also offered to take a poke at that SE30 board if I couldn't get it.
Yeah. Everybody was like, "We will help you, sir."
And that's what's awesome about the community. I know that project is going to get done one way or another.
All right.
Because the community's like, no, we're not going to let you fail. You're not allowed to fail. What I need to do is once I'm done with this, I might just turn off my camera in a moment because I'm pretty much done with what I'm doing. I need to show pictures of. I think I have pictures of the SE30 board before we cleaned it up, and it was rough.
Sure.
I know Steve was like, I just don't like seeing SE30s suffer.
Yeah. I'm cleaning some of this new leakage off of here so it doesn't set.
I think I'm just going to go ahead and I don't use this enough because I thought this was good, but I'm going to go ahead and just put that here. I'm not going anywhere, but I like the screen, so. And I don't get to use it enough because generally my streams get canceled by Xfinity, not by me. So, hoping that's going to be a thing of the past here soon enough.
Oh, yeah, there's some Doofenshmirtz all over this board.
Noise.
Let go.
Not all these are leaky, but a few of them pretty leaky.
I think I'm just going to ultrasonic this first. But before I do, I'm going to get the other board out, and I'm going to take a high-res picture of it because there is not a recapping guide to this board that I can find off the top, just super quick. Which means now that I've cut all those capacitors off, I don't know what replaces them. So,
well, you have to review your video.
yeah. Well, see, I'm lucky. I happen to have a second board, so we'll just grab the second board real quick, and hopefully they're the same revision of board, because apparently there's more than one.
So, Joe, do you have ready access to throw up an image I'm going to send you on Discord up on the stream?
Ready access to throw up? You got it. I got syrup of ipecac right on hand. You let me know, buddy. Yeah.
I'm sending you on Discord an image of the board before I did so much as even touch the thing.
Okay.
Hoping it sends. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Have
this
fun.
board is in way better shape. This board is perfect. This is probably the one that was in the box. Stand by. Let me go to the Dorse chords and grab the form.
I sent it in DMs, not on your server, but yeah, it looks rough. Like, holy moly.
Open original. Copy image.
Extra tasty, crispy. Got it.
Ron, you're the best.
I am.
So I need to click this thing and then do screen cap right. There it is. So I'm going to move some stuff around and
you can big in yourself.
Yeah.
So we were outright missing C7.
This one right here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's just part of the sound circuit. That's not gonna. This machine will run with literally no caps on it. The only thing that won't function is the sound. That serial chip is a little bit of a concern unless you've cleaned it up. This one right here. I want a freaking rectangle. Give me a rectangle. That right there. Because you've got moved it. Zoom. Can you zoom in and not be dumb? Software. You got green crusties right there.
Yeah, this was ultrasonic. So after this.
Oh, so this is
this is pre-ultrasonic.
Gotcha. Ew, ew, ew. Oh, those are so badly done.
I know. That's why I was like, it's a miracle this board even like did anything. Because I might add, like, all they did, I believe, was they cleaned up a few of those caps. I don't think they cleaned up those ones, and they added that missing cap back in. But that's about. Yeah. That was before ultrasonic, and it still booted.
Yep, that trace right there concerns me.
Which one?
Red.
I actually toned that out, and it has continuity. But you want to double check my work when you get the board.
Yes,
because it is very possible that I missed some things.
Yes. There's a big thing that happens. Like, what did they do? Did they just like vomit them onto the board? And this is the that's the Q3 you need replaced, right?
Q3, yeah, that's the one that's gone.
It's just probably that's probably a bog standard 3906 or 39.
Let me grab the conversation with Dostard one real quick because I can tell you right now.
So
this is basically this is before the board, so you kind of I guess this serves also a good purpose, so you know kind of okay from here what areas look the most concerning.
Yeah.
So let's see.
There's these.
So it's a Dostard one says QN3904.
Yeah, 3904.
NPN.
Yeah. Pretty standard. So these caps right here, there are traces that run right by the pads and underneath the caps. And did you, when you recap this, did you seal this entire area up with nail polish or UV solder mask or anything?
No.
Okay. What can happen a lot of times is the solder, because the pads on here you can see The actual pad is only like this wide, but the pad on the capacitor is that wide. And what happens is if any of these traces have any exposed copper, you can actually like accidentally solder this pad here to the trace and get a shot.
Tech Knight was telling me about that actually. He was
when I do SE30s, I literally go ham on it. I will UV solder mask everything around it, even if everything looks perfectly fine. Because and it's really these two, this one sometimes as well. Just they get me every single time. I'll yank one of them off and bam, the machine works.
Wait, now that I'm looking at it, that via on that cap you just circled looks kind of sus to me.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that won't prevent the machine from working. Not
to the level it's not working with me right now.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, the 8-row looks good, actually. I mean, these are a little crusty, but they're not too bad. And it's usually like these ones right here, they get the worst of it. Because, especially this one, because of that capacitor right there.
Yeah, those looked kind of
that direction and just goes barf.
Those looked kind of sus, but I've actually removed UE8, UF8, and UG8 to look under them for trace damage.
Good.
And I made sure to like hot air them back on, and the joints look pretty good now.
Good. Yeah. See, you know what you're doing.
To some extent.
On white on rice. Or
I'm on the right track so much, but I just like my brain can't finish the job basically.
This will just keep ADB from working, so that's not a big deal.
Basically, what I've been doing, like for the last night when I was trying to go to sleep, is I actually sent these images. Well, not this one, but the ones I took on my phone last night. Sent them over to my iPad and just spent the night like looking in like fine detail to see if I can see anything that looked out of place to my eyes. Unfortunately,
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. I was just gonna say, unfortunately, I didn't really see anything.
Yeah. Eric's Edge actually had a really good question. Is fingernail polish a good substitute for UV mask? Kinda, yeah. You want to make sure that it has dried or solidified, whatever you want to call it, nice and hard before you use it. But yes, if you're using it, it's like it's that typical. There's no substitute for doing it the real way, or blah 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 blah. But nail polish, like get green nail polish or even clear, like a clear lacquer nail polish, and use it, because all you're trying to do is to cover over the exposed copper to keep it from tarnishing. Some folks are like, you can have exposed copper, it'll be fine, blah blah blah. No, you want to cover that copper over. Why do you think all these wires are tinned underneath the solder mask? To try to prevent that nastiness, right? But also it helps in cases like this, again, where these traces are so close to this pad right here. And the width of this connector, right, is like that. And so you can get a solder bridge between the ground pin. Well, that's positive, but you can get a bridge between that and this trace. And then you're shorting out a pin that goes to the, like to say the ASC here, the sound chip. And it'll ground the chip out, which will then prevent it from working, which then when the computer goes to fire up, it's like, I can't boot because I can't talk to the Apple sound chip. Therefore, I must have a problem. Death. So, yeah.
I just find it really interesting, the failure mode here, because like when I put it back in, it didn't work. So I kind of went on a quest, and I recapped, like I said, those 3 you're looking at right now. I pulled them off, redid the solder the right way, put them back, and the machine came back up. Like, that's the image I posted to Twitter of it, like, showing the Big Mess of Wires logo. Like, it came up after that with sound. But then I decided, okay, I'm going to put the back on so I can set it on, back on its feet to mess with it some more, and then die again.
Yeah. I don't know what pin this is on the connector, what value it means, because I don't have the pin out in front of me, but it's got crusties on it. I don't know if those crusties got cleaned out with Sonic or not.
So I did, by the way, while working on all this, I did hose it down with contact cleaner. So if that gets rid of the crusties, or it helps it, then
it can. It helps break the crusties up so that you get a better metal connection again. Yeah.
I've also unplugged and plugged this board in numerous times, because I remember somebody saying one of those ATX extenders can basically connect up and make a test jig out of SC chassis. So I have one, and I decided to just plug it up and use that for this.
Yeah, it won't hurt a gosh darn thing. I don't know what Drake is like scrambling on about me and my opinions and can't make cereal without burning something, but okay, sure. I don't know what that's a joke in reference to, but I'm laughing at it anyway because it sounds funny. Yeah, this board, honestly, it does not look that bad at all. It's probably, I'll bet you dollars to donuts. You've got a trace connect underneath one of those or underneath one of these. That's just shorting stuff out. What's the current symptom? You just got a vertical line?
Vertical horizontal line if the ROM is taken out, and no video if the ROM is installed.
Yeah. It could be the connector.
What's weird is after reflowing things a few times, it used to give me, I believe, SMISAMAC is the right term.
Yeah.
If I pop the ROM out, but now it's just vertical or horizontal line.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know Tech Knight was telling me the reason why you may have seen something with those caps is because that's where most of the data lines are going through that little corridor right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And if any one of those is even slightly wrong, you're gonna have problems.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's something. It's I feel like if I really put my brain to it, I could probably do it. But I also, one of the big components of me wanting to send this off to you too is you have knowledge and tools to do this.
I've done it a few times.
Yeah, that's more than I have.
And the thing is here, Tech Knight and them, they're like, the data lines are running all right through there. I'm like, they just don't, they need to not be shorted to things. I don't know what they are. I don't care what they are. But I've done this. Yeah, I guess you could say I've done this enough times to know, just broken my own board so many times. So
that's kind of that's how I learned how to work on laptops. I mean, I've broken 7 of my own before I finally started getting it right. So.
Yep.
Sometimes you gotta fall on your sword so other people don't have to. You're like I've done this multiple times. So what I really something I've learned while doing this though is I really the Kaiwitz KM601 is so good, but I need better probes for smaller things.
It's getting to that part of the stream. I'm getting loopy.
I was about to be like, "What are you doing?"
No, it's your classic Joe stream where there's absolutely no rules, and we just Ron is just sitting in the background making faces at the camera while we talk to each other
and showing us his Kaiwitz.
Yes, that's we'll do that back in 1987, 1988.
What?
Your Kaiwitz, you got it back in 87 or 88? Right?
No, I think I got that at Radio Shack in probably 1997, 1998.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah. It was, I think it was $70 or $80 or something like that back then.
Man, that was really expensive back then.
Yeah, in 90s dollars. So
that's $10,000 now.
Yeah, I know. In this economy.
Prototype Kaiwitz. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Were they frosted? Ye old wheats. The joke is Eric's got a old school analog meter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Verily.
That is great. Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to kind of wrap things up for the evening. We got a lot of fun stuff. We hang out with friends. We fixed things. Exodium says his stream is over already, even though it's my stream. That's fine. Yeah, we had, I'll start off by saying, we had Garth on here for a little while who hung out and gave some information about this, the SATA on PowerMac we did. Then we took Ron's board and put that all together and tested it, and it worked. Yay!
Yay, today I am safe from being shamed.
Yes, and we don't have to shame Exodium because the process that you put together by combining all those resources and putting it into a single, easy-to-follow guide over on Tinker Different made it work. It worked.
I'm so excited to use this in my original Color Classic.
What kind of alien technology are you sitting on that you can translate PCI to bus?
PCI slot. Just keep jamming. It'll fit eventually.
Yeah, you just got to push hard enough.
Yeah, you just need a bigger hammer.
Anything's a PCI slot if you try hard enough.
That's true.
AGP, PCI Express, PCIX. I've even put PCI cards in the ISA slot. I mean, the computer kind of gets a little smoky, when you do that. But
it's fine.
Well, again, thank you all for stopping by, hanging out tonight. We'll get that board back out to you, Ron. That'll be cool.
Thanks, man.
No problem. I want to thank everybody who stopped by tonight to hang out and watch the stream. We had about 30 or 35 of you. It was a super duper cool. Remember to follow Ron on Ron's computer videos on YouTube and Ron's comp vids on the Twitters. Exodium has, let me see, I'm going to make you big, sir, because we can't really see the thingadoodle. Exodium has a Twitter thing that you can follow. You can also go find them on the Tinker Difference as well, where they do super awesome stuff with the SATA thing. If you want to help my channel out, you can go to any of these little links. You can follow me on Twitter and say, hey, Joe. You can go to my website and get super cool merchandise that helps the museum keep running. Or you can support me on Patreon at Joe's Computer Museum for as little as $1 million per second. Oh, wait, sorry, I got that wrong. $1 a month. You can get access to our community Discord. You get behind the scenes cool stuff as I post it and little updates about the projects I'm going. Like my patrons, for example, know why I haven't been posting as many videos because of this pile back here that I have to work on. So you can find out what's going on behind the scenes, like these awesome patrons. Like we've got Justin D. Mort, Stavros, Michael, Bob, Britt, Greg, and Peter. Like all of those cool people. Finally, hit the like button. It tells YouTube that my content's cool. So thank you all for stopping by, and we'll see y'all later. Bye, guys!
Have a good night.